Welcome to part 2 in the Flow with the Elements series. Today is Earth. So this is a very grounding practice, and you might like to dedicate your practice today to our beautiful Earth, or even feel as though the energy that you need is coming from the Earth into your body. As you find your seated position, really ground down into the points of contact with the earth. Turn your palms downwards on your thighs or your knees for a more grounding feeling, and begin to just feel that connection beneath you. Beginning to focus on your breath, breathing smoothly in through the nose and out through the nose. Staying with your breath here, maybe setting that intention to dedicate your practice to the earth, or to embody earth-like qualities to your practice. Nature and the earth do everything at their own pace, knowing they will get there. So release any sense of rushing or hurrying, and really let this practice ground you. Let the movements be slow. Just slowing the breath down even more, and trying to stay with the breath or come back to the breath as many times as you need to through this practice. And then we'll bring the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, spread the arms out and up, stretch towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come back down through the center. 2 more. Inhale. Take all that energy in, bring it back down to your heart. And last time, spread out and open, stretch up. Exhale, release back to center. Now with an exhale, turn towards your left side. Right hand comes across to the left knee. Twisting from the center, from the belly, from your mid-spine. And taking the breath down into the space where you feel the twist. Another full inhale. As you exhale, return to the center. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist around the opposite way, twisting from the belly, not from the shoulders. Another full breath in. Exhale, release into the center. Maybe uncross your feet slightly. Take the fingers ahead of you. Breathe in, find length in the spine. And then as you exhale, bow forward from the hips. Just coming as far forward as feels good. Maybe bring your forearms down to the floor. Maybe you're only a few inches forward of the body. Just really leaning into that grounding stretch into the hips and the lower body. As you breathe, feeling your body melt down further towards the ground. And then we can walk the hands around towards the left side. Bow the head down. Feel that nice stretch come all the way down the right side of the body, creating that space in the rib cage. Maybe reach further into your right fingers to accentuate that stretch. Keep the right hip, right sitting bone down into the ground. Another deep breath in, and as you exhale, walk over to the opposite side, just far enough to feel that stretch come into the left side body now. Breathing into that space you've created. And then carefully, slowly unwind and make your way over the legs and into your tabletop position. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Just take a little rock forward and back to open up the wrists. And then pressing back into the knees. As you do this, hug your lower belly towards your spine, beginning to engage the root lock, the Mula Bandha. This is engaging the pelvic floor and the core to support our yoga practice. And then on your exhale, return back down to a child's pose. Sitting bones back to the heels. Knees can be close together or really wide apart, whichever feels good on your body today. And then to feel more connected with the earth, turn your head over to one side and spread your arms out into a T shape, like you're hugging the ground, hugging the earth. Especially if you're in the ground floor or you're on a wooden floor, you may even be able to feel that energy coming up through your hands into your body. I invite you to truly connect with that idea that we are not separate from this earth. We are part of it, and it is part of us. Just staying here with your breath, keeping your body heavy into the floor. And then bringing your hands into the center. Create space by tenting the fingers as you reach forward. So feeling that space underneath your shoulders, and then thread your right arm underneath your left shoulder for a low thread the needle position in your child's pose. Right shoulder comes all the way to the mat if you can. And then you can either keep these left fingers extended or take the left hand onto the right wrist and use a bit of pressure to push your chest open a little more. You even feel that deep stretch in your shoulder blade. Keep breathing into that space where you feel the twist. On an exhale, come back to center. Tent the fingers again, create that space, and then thread left arm under right shoulder this time. Just wiggle around until you feel like you're in the right position, to feel that nice stretch. You can even press the right hand into the left wrist if that feels good, or you did it on the other side, accentuating that stretch into the shoulder blade. Nice. And then come back to center. From your child's pose, inhale, rise up through a cow spine and then drop the hips down to an upward dog position on the knees, staying engaged through the lower belly and the fronts of the thighs. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Inhale, begin to unwind up through a rounded spine into a back bend. Find your Cobra or up dog position on the knees, and then exhale, press back, child's pose. One more, inhale, come through. Open up the front of the body, maybe even this time lift onto the tops of the feet, lifting the thighs, engaging the whole front of the body, pressing the floor away from the shoulders, and then exhale, press it back, find your little shell position. Take a deep breath in and a smooth exhale out. From here, come forward onto your knees and then lower yourself down to the ground, onto your belly. Fingertips come underneath the shoulders. We'll take a few little Cobra lifts to warm up the back body. Inhale, open up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Even tent the fingers if that feels good. A couple more. And last one, open up the front body and release it down. Now stretch your right arm ahead of you. Keep your left fingers tented on your left side and turn your head over towards the left. And pick up your left foot, bending the knee. And then take the knee behind you for an inverted twist. So it's like our supine twist, but we're facing the floor. Really connecting with that ground. And then finding the twist in your belly, in your lower spine. You might even hear a little crack. Maybe your left toes are just floating in the air, or they're coming all the way down to the floor on the outside of your right leg. Keep breathing down into that root chakra, the lower body, connecting us with the earth. On an exhale, come slowly out and switch sides. Stretch your left arm ahead of you, right fingers tent on your right side, and then pick up the right knee and come into that twist on the other side. Breathing into that twist. And on an exhale, release. Come back to center, ground into the hands, press onto the knees, tuck your toes under, and then as you exhale, find your downward facing dog. If the knees need to be bent or the feet need to be wider apart to allow you to find this flat back shape, then make those adjustments. Wiggle around until you feel like this downward dog is nourishing to your body. You can find a little movement here, pedaling out the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Or you might take inspiration from the earth, which to me is very grounding, and we can find a lot of stillness from looking to the earth. So maybe today for you is about finding that grounding and stillness in each position. And really ground into the feet. Find your pada bandha. So you're feeling as though you've got roots growing down into the earth from your feet, and your legs are pulling up away from that connection. Same with the hands. Hasta bandha, hand lock. We're grounding into the earth through the hands, rooting into the ground. And then from here, just gently begin to walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Bend the knees as much as you need to keep your lower back feeling comfortable in this forward fold. We are going to be doing a lot of forward folding postures in this practice. I think they're very grounding, they're very internalizing. They really connect us to ourselves and this calming earth-like energy. So just hang out in this forward fold. Keep it nice and gentle, not feeling like you need to go into your very deepest stretch at the moment. We'll do that, don't worry. Just staying with that breath, grounding into the feet. And then from there, plug down into the soles of the feet, bend the knees softly as you begin to round and roll up. One vertebra at a time, coming up to standing, leaving the head till last. And we'll move into some sun salutations. Just take it at your own pace. Keep feeling your connection to the ground in every pose. Hands at heart center now, and with your inhale, reach out and up, look to the thumbs, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the fingertips, step back on the right foot, bring your right knee down. Inhale in your low lunge, and then plant the hands and step back to plank. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, lower your knees, the whole body, or just your chest and chin if that's in your practice. Inhale from there, come to Cobra. Exhale, press back to a nice strong downward facing dog for 3 full breaths. Remembering to take child's pose at any point if that feels better to you today. With your next inhale, reach the right leg up and back, keep the hips square, and scoop the right leg forward, step it between the hands. Left knee comes down, inhale in the lunge. Exhale, step forward and fold at the top edge of the mat. Feel that forward fold softening each time. Inhale, rise up to standing through that flat back. Exhale, lower hands to the heart. Take a little pause, full breath in. Smooth exhale out. And left side here. Stretch out and up as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower the fingers, step back on the left foot. Left knee comes down. Inhale in the lunge. Lower the hands, step back to plank. Full breath in and plank. Exhale, lower the knees, then the chest and chin, pelvis stays lifted. Inhale, curl into Cobra. Look up. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 full breaths. 2, 3. And with your next inhale, the left leg reaches. Bring it forward, step it between the hands. Right knee comes down. Inhale in the lunge. Exhale, step forward, fold into the legs. Breathing in, rise up, reach up, stretch into the fingers, and exhale to lower, hands to heart center. Take a couple of nice full breaths. Finding that sense of stillness again, rooting down through the feet. And we'll do that again, adding in some more poses. With your next inhale, stretch out and up. Exhale and fold. Breathe into halfway lift. Exhale, lower the hands, step back on the right foot. Bring the right knee down. Inhale in the lunge. Plant the hands, find plank. Full breath in here. Option to just lower the knees or come through a full chaturanga, bending the elbows back and in and rising into upward facing dog. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Just one full breath in and a smooth breath out. And then reaching the right leg high, bring it forward, step it between the hands. Bring your left knee down. Scissor the inner thighs together, connect your lower belly towards your spine and then rise up to a lifted low lunge. Feeling strong through the lower body, not just sinking into the lower back. Stretch up, let the shoulders come towards your ears. And then bring your right fingers down wherever they can reach on your right side. Open up through the left side body. Feel that side stretch. Maybe even take a block underneath your hand if you have one handy. And then from here, windmill your top arm down. Take both fingers either side of that front foot and sit back into a half split position. Flex your front toes towards your face and lengthen your spine over that front leg. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Keep leaning your belly towards the thigh. Keep leaning the chest towards the front of the mat. And then keeping this lift in your spine. Inhale, come forward to your low lunge. Exhale, move back. And again, inhale, come forward. Exhale, move back. And one more time, coming forward and back. Pause in your half split position, toes can be flexed. Bring your left fingers tented on the inside of the right leg and then twist the body towards that right side. Hold on to your right hip. If this is enough for your balance, stay here. If you would like to challenge a little more, you can stretch your right fingers up towards the sky, creating that straight T shape with the arms. Try not to make this a back bend. Keep your spine straight. A couple of full breaths in this nice twist, feeling this incredible stretch in your IT band down the outside of your right leg. And then with an exhale, bring your fingers to the top edge of the mat and step forward into your forward fold again. Feel that forward fold softening and deepening each time. Inhale, begin to rise up to standing, reach into the fingers. Exhale, lower hands to the heart. Full inhale, smooth exhale. And left side, reaching out and up. Exhale and fold. Breathe in, halfway lengthen the spine, flat back. Lower the fingers, step back on the left foot. Left knee comes down. Inhale in the lunge. Plant the hands, find plank. Inhale, option to bring the knees down or do this on the toes. Lower halfway down, hover off the mat. And then as you inhale, rise into upward dog. Exhale, press it back to downward dog. One full cycle of breath. Now as you inhale, reach the left leg high. Bring it forward, step it between the hands. Right knee comes down. And then scissor those inner thighs together. Feel strong through the core and lift into a lifted low lunge. Palms come together, stretch up into the fingers. Lower rib cage, hugging in slightly. And then you can bring your left fingers down on your left side and find that side body stretch. However that looks for you. If the floor feels too far away, just hold on to your left hip. Test out that balance, or maybe grab a block or a book, whatever you have around. Feel that side stretch. And then exhale, windmill your fingers to either side of that left foot. Flex the left toes, lean into your hamstring stretch. Inhale, come forward, open up the chest. Exhale, send it back, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. A couple more, inhale, come forward. Exhale, move back. One more time, coming forward. Move it back. Square off the hips, flex your left toes, and then prepare for that twist, bringing your left hand to your left hip, turning the body towards that left side. Maybe you stay here, maybe you reach your left arm up into that T shape, finding that stability in the twist. And then bring your left fingers down, step your back foot forward to the top edge of the mat. Breathe in, rise up, reach up into the fingers. Exhale, lower hands to the heart. Take a full inhale and a smooth exhale. Moving on now, breathing in, reach out and up. Exhale and fold. Breathe into halfway lift. Then just step back on the right foot. Right thigh stays strong up towards the ceiling. Gaze forward. Inhale, rise up to your high crescent lunge. Take a nice full breath in here and a long exhale out. From here, on an exhale, plant the hands, step back, come through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your inhale, reach up through the right leg. Bring it forward, step it between the hands. Left thigh lifts now, gaze forward, find strength in the legs. Rise to a high crescent lunge. Pause here, strengthen through your core, lift through your fingers. Take your gaze ahead of you and prepare to balance on the front foot. Feel that connection with the earth, reconnect with that idea. You are not separate from the earth. Use that energy from the ground to keep you balanced. So here, floating forward, lifting that back foot off and coming up into a standing split position. Maybe you make a right angle with the legs. Maybe you kick your left heel high into the sky to move towards that standing split position. Your hands can stay on the mat or on blocks or props, whatever you have, or you can begin to walk the fingers closer towards that standing foot. Maybe even wrap the hands around your standing ankle for even more challenge to your balance. Stay as active through the lifted leg as through the standing leg. Full breath in. Exhale smoothly. Stay here, stay in the pose, whatever that looks like for you. And then with your exhale, release the top foot down, come into your forward fold, feeling so much longer on one leg than the other. And then we'll rise up to standing once again. Lower the hands to the heart. Now for the other side. As you inhale, take the hands out and up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Lower the fingers. Step back on the left foot. Gaze ahead of you. Find strength in the thighs. Rise up to a high crescent lunge. Couple of breaths. Find that sense of centering. Hugging your pelvic floor upwards for Mula Bandha the whole time. And on an exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Take your Vinyasa. And find downward facing dog. With an inhale, reach the left leg up. Bring it forward, step it between the hands. High on the fingertips, find your balance. Rise to high crescent lunge and pause here. Again, find that sense of grounding, of centering. Gazing ahead of you, preparing to float effortlessly into your standing split. When you're ready, fingers touch the earth, right foot lifts high towards the ceiling. Notice how different it can feel on one side to the other. Stretch away through that top leg. And when you're ready, release. And now we'll take a very grounding forward fold position. So bending your knees as much as you need to bring your hands flat to the floor, and then seeing if you can step the feet onto the palms and bring your toes all the way up to the wrist creases. If your knees need to be bent to do this, to have your belly on the thighs, then that's fine. If you're feeling quite open in the backs of the legs and you want to try straightening the legs, pull up on the hands, press down through the feet. Nose towards your knees if you can balance there. And then gently come out. Step your right foot back to a short lunge stance. So for pyramid pose, your toes will be out to a slight angle. Come back up to standing. Take your hands to your hips. Inhale. Maybe bring your hands to reverse prayer or grab opposite elbows behind you. And then as you exhale, hinge forward, folding over that front leg. If it's feeling too much in the hamstring or you're feeling it in the back of the knee, bend your knee slightly. If you want to deepen the pose and you can balance, then you can bring your nose towards your knee. You could even try different positions with the hands, maybe bring them down, maybe turn the fingers towards the back edge of the mat. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you would like to try a balancing posture, keep your fingertips facing the back edge of the mat, ground into the front toes. See if you can lift your right leg, bring the knees together and point the right toes, leaning back into those hips. Nice. And then step it back. Return to the top edge of the mat. Ready to switch sides. Step your left foot back to that pyramid position, heels in line with each other, hips square. Come up to standing with control, and then take whatever bind with the hands feels good for you. Maybe reverse prayer, maybe grabbing opposite elbows. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, fold and hinge forward. Fold over that front leg. Again, modify by taking a bend in the knee if that's what you need. And then if you like that variation with the fingers pointing back behind you, you can take that now. And again, if you'd like to try that balancing position on the other side, then you can do that here. Point those left toes, hug the knees together. And then come back out. And we'll make our way to the ground. You can take a malasana, a little yogi, squat or lotus pose, spreading the knees apart, using the elbows on the inner knees. Just taking a little sway from side to side, opening up those hips. And then sitting down to the earth, take a straddle position with the legs maybe quite wide apart, maybe quite narrow, whatever allows you to sit tall on your sitting bones. Take a deep breath in Maybe stay here and breathe, or maybe fold forward a little bit. You could even reach for the ankles or the big toes with your peace fingers. If you're incredibly flexible and you can do a middle split, you could come down to a middle split here. Just take whatever variation of this position feels good to you, finding some connection with the earth, whether that's just with your hands, with your forearms, or even with the whole body, if you do have that in your practice. Bow the head down, turning inward even more. Finding that stillness, finding that grounding. If it feels good, you could walk your hands over to one foot and stretch over towards that one leg. And then maybe walk over to the other side. And then make your way back into the center. Bring your legs together and just give them a gentle sway from side to side. So just swaying the knees from side to side. And then we'll come over to our backs. Now, I find plow pose to be a very grounding practice. If you don't want to practice plow pose, you could just take your legs up the wall, or take a bridge pose, or really any pose that you would rather do. If you would like to try halasana, the plow, we're going to rock the knees in towards the chest with control, as though you were coming up to a shoulder stand. Hold on to your lower back and bring your hips over your shoulders as much as you can. And then you can drop the feet overhead, back behind you. Maybe the knees stay bent, maybe you bring the knees to the forehead, or you just hover in that position, or you stretch the toes all the way to the floor behind you. Keep a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. Keep a little bit of space between your back of your neck and the floor. So back of the head and upper back are down on the ground. And then you could even reach back for the feet with your hands. Taking a few nice deep breaths here in your plow. I really love this position. It can feel quite intense though, so just be gentle. Trying to stay here for a few breaths, but if your body tells you it's time to come out, then come out as slowly as you can. If you would like to try another variation, you can bring the knees around your ears for a deaf man's pose. And then when you're ready to come out, use your core strength to bring the legs out slowly, and then just come to an L position, stretching the feet up towards the sky. Pause there, let your back settle, and then bend the knees, bring your feet to the floor. Just rest in that position. Take a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, bring the arms to a T shape, drop your knees over to the right side, feeling a twist come through your lower back and into your mid-spine. Taking the breath down into the space where you feel the twist. And then on an exhale, come into the center. Drop your legs over the opposite way for your supine twist. Breathing down into that space where you feel the twist. Feeling all the points of contact with your body settling into the ground, into the earth. And when you're ready, bring yourself into the middle. Take any other positions that you need to feel comfortable before extending the legs out into Shavasana, relaxation. Bring your arms down by your sides, tuck your shoulder blades down underneath you. Maybe grab a blanket if you have one nearby. And just let your whole body sink and relax into the floor. I will bring you out, so completely allow yourself to be held by the earth. Completely allow gravity to take your weight, release any tension from the body, and allow yourself a couple of minutes of true stillness. Now you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Turn your head from side to side. Maybe stretch your whole self out along the floor. Point the toes down away from you. Stretch the fingers back behind you. And then turn over to lying on one side. Just rest on your side for a few moments. And then when you're ready, press yourself up sideways to a seated position. Crossing your legs in front of you. Finding that nice tall spine. Coming back to yourself, back to your breath. And now I invite you to bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head. Thank yourself for practicing yoga today. Bow your head in gratitude to the earth for all it does and provides for us. Remembering that we are not separate, we are part of this earth. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you love this practice and are loving the Elements series. Let me know in the comments how you find it and what you would like to see next. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I post a free yoga class every week and I would love to have you in the Yoga with Alona family. I will see you very soon.